So we got it, people. 2100 on my second Fury Warrior with something like a 65% win rate. Here's a little picture of the build. Go back, pause that, write it down. Don't you worry though, I'm going to be doing a full Fury Warrior guide soon. So let's jump right in. These rogues just don't stand a chance, man. Delete them in the opener. Let's go. We got the drive-by executes on the demon hunters all day. And you know what? Holy Priest, they're the meta. Well, they're my favorite meta because we just run them down. Easy game. So to my fellow gamers out there, my viewers, hope y'all are having a fantastic day. Please hit me with that like, subscribe. Let me know what you're thinking in the comments, and let's jump right in. If you haven't seen part 1 of this video, go check it out. If you're interested, it is with an HPAL, slightly different comp. So if maybe you play HPAL or you do play with a Holy Paladin quite a lot, that might be the video for you. Here we play with a Resto Shaman, and let me tell you guys, Resto Shaman Fury Warrior is absolutely disgusting. Fury Warrior is just so much throughput pressure, and when you combine that with a healer that's got an interrupt, that's got a spammable purge, that's got, Dwayne damage, it's really a 3v2 with Dwayne, and then you have the DPS rotation of a Shaman. We're just going to win over half of these games in the opener, all the way up into our last game where we do win in the opener. As you can see here, the priest had to GA the hunter, and that's it. That's GG. Straight into the next one. So we've all been playing Shadowlands for long enough. You guys know the plan here. Don't let the Warlock play the game. We do heroic leap and stop the gate. If you don't think you're gonna get the stop, don't waste your leap, but it's pretty huge if you do. You can see we just start pounding into him. He's got nowhere to run. Priest has to use the GA, and now, just like last game, get on that Priest, run him down, boys. He Ray of Hopes himself, and Gladiator Losa hit him with the flex for me. Hope down. I love hearing that. It just cracks me up every time. So GG, Mr. Warlock. Now we got Feral Druid, another Holy Priest, of course. I like trinketing versus a stealthy in the opener. It just saves my healer's trinket, and then, we can do something like Intervene Fear. You definitely don't want to let your healer just face tank that stealth opener. And now we're doing warrior things. Quick swap on the fade. 3 seconds of not having uptime on your cooldowns is huge, so swap on the Feral Druid, help my Shami kind of eat into him a little bit. As you can see, they were both half HP there. We got a lot of split pressure. And yeah, here I don't have kick, don't have too much, but I can see they're doing a little go on my healer, so we Stormbolt the Druid, pretty much shuts down the go altogether. And now I'm crying. This priest was so slippery. I mean, I don't mind hitting a feral druid because ferals do die. Feral is a good kill target. I much prefer going after the priest. Um, but yeah, these guys were pretty slippery. Definitely doing a good job. You want to run away from a warrior, right? Um, we fleshcraft the next mind control. Just because I do have recklessness up, I'm looking for a go here. In general, I don't really mind letting the mind control get off. The healer's not playing the game when they mind control, so it's pretty big. We get the Guardian Angel, and here's the swap. Leap to land the kick isn't enough. He did Ray of Hope himself. Or actually, here's the Ray of Hope right now. Feral Druid's helping him out. Intervene here, and I stay in the Resonator just in case I do need to tank it with my healer, but he manages to run out. He still has, there's his trinket. He still has wall link ascendance, so we're pretty Gucci. The healer doesn't have any more HP on their team, and we win the game. Let's go. So I just want to give you guys a quick background about myself. I am pretty new to YouTube, kind of this online, you know, I will get to streaming. I don't want to call it streaming right now because it's not streaming, but this content production. So anyways, I've been playing the game since Cataclysm. Bork, as you see here, is the first character I made in Cataclysm. Um, had a pretty hilarious time. All my friends were Blood Elves, and we had Recruit a Friend XP, but they couldn't figure out how to port my Orc ass over there, so I didn't get any of the Recruit a Friend XP. We still out-leveled them, boys, don't worry. Um, but yeah, got really into the game. Played Resto Druid Warrior in Kata. Um, have some hilarious stories of like healing Resto Druid 2v2s on a trackpad on my Mac. I did actually sell Fury Warrior 2v2 carries. And just to give you guys an idea of kind of my demographic, I was in middle school during Cataclysm. And I gotta say, if you never played that X-Pack, yes, Fury Warrior PvP was broken, pretty hilarious. So was Arms though. From there, did a lot of Arena and MoP. I pretty much played on and off every expansion. MoP, they had the Great Conquest gearing system, right? So leveled something like 5 or 6 tunes, got them fully maxed out in Conquest gear. It was around WoD when a lot of my original IRL homies stopped playing the game, sad kick. So I think that's when the arena fell off, just because I wasn't super familiar with like the LFG or more likely the trade chat system that was around back then. So that's when the era of random BG farming began. Did a lot of random BG since Kata, but it was really WoD and Legion, where I pretty much strictly did random BGs for the whole X-Back. Once BFA came around, that's when I really started, actually playing the game, not just enjoying the game. Both, got to encourage both, but just as a more experienced gamer, whilst, you know, a vast adventure, I kind of knew a lot more about what I was doing. So that's when I got my first duelist and twos. I got AOTC and KSM for any of you nerds that are interested. Um, and I also met some really great homies at the end of BFA. It was the start of Shadowlands when we all put together the Straight Zuggin Guild. And yeah, I've been playing with the same homies since, just getting better and better each season. Got my first Gladiator last season. Um, and this season I'm actually seeing myself on like the top 50 or on my DK, the top 20 PvP brackets in NA, which is really sick. So love to see the growth there. All my fellow gamer homies, let's keep getting this bread. But yeah, it's enough about me. Let's get back into these games. Here we got double DPS, Feral Druid, Destruction Warlock. I originally go after the Druid. I was kind of thinking, he is the off healer in this double DPS comp, so if he's going to stand there and spam heal the Warlock, or more likely spam CC us, I want to stop that. At the same time, though, we see this guy is a really good Feral. I mean, he definitely knows how to run away, huge part about playing Druid. And I was just not able to stay on him, so strategy 1 fails right away. And kind of more an optimist strategy, whenever you're facing double DPS, as someone who plays a lot of healer DPS, you just have to be confident in the matchup. When you're playing as healer DPS versus another healer DPS, and you win, it's simply, it's the combination of you're doing too much damage, you have too much CC, there's some dampening going on, and the enemy team's not able to keep up. Now, when you take that exact same matchup and you replace the healer with a DPS and they're expected to keep up with the same amount of pressure that you guys are putting out, ultimately they're going to lose. So if you have faith in the dampener, you counterplay enemy cooldowns so you aren't going to die to the double DPS, you're going to win the long game. So yeah, that's the way I like to think about it, so we don't get too tilted. Maybe it's not the correct or the exact strategy, but definitely helps us out. It's about now that I realized that going the Feral is not a viable strategy, and I'm simply going to run down this Warlock for the entire duration of the game. My healer's behind me. That's okay. Let's just ignore him. Not really. I probably could have intervened there. Um, And yeah, definitely keep up the split pressure, right? Because if the Pharaoh's expected to heal both of them, but he has to heal himself, he's not going to be able to help the Warlock too much. And now we're back on the kill target because we can connect. Bladestorm the Cyclone. And yeah, this Pharaoh was playing so much like a caster, like a Resto Druid, that kind of cheesed on him at the end there with that little comment. And into the next game. Windwalker Monk Holy Priest. I made some comments in the past about Windwalker monks. I don't know if my thoughts are the same as we'll see in this game. Windwalkers have such strong cooldowns that as a warrior, it's all about counterplaying them. It's really just like you're hard tunneling the 1v1, and really all you can do against the enemy healer is LOS them. If you do anything else, you're not going to have those cooldowns to counterplay the monk, and the monk is most likely going to kill your healer. At the same time, though, this monk doesn't use his abilities, which is roll away, teleport away, full heal yourself, and reset. He just wants to stand there and trade blows with a Fury Warrior, and that's how we win. Easy game. So now we got the same comp, different people. Here I do actually land the fear on the healer, which is huge. It's what I like to do in the opener, and then pop the burst macro on the DPS. It's great because as a monk, like I was saying last game, you just want to counter his offensive cooldown, so even if the healer's not there, I'm still just going to fear the clones. Get his trinket, and we can then land some really strong storm bolts when we need to. Trinket the first leg sweep. This is his big go. We double trinket, so that's pretty bad. You can actually trinket every leg sweep as long as you guys don't double trinket. But it is his first go, it's the 2-minute go, so that's pretty big. And now I'm just going through everything. He is on me though. You can see in the top right, I have a weak aura for when he gets his spinning crane kicks, so I leap away and fleshcraft there. Don't want to stay in and just risk getting one shot by the spinning crane kick proc. And yeah, we're just on the monk. Monks are soft, If they don't use their toolkit, which is run away and reset, they're gonna die. Spell Reflect the Mind Games on the healer, and just keep eating into this monk. We see my Shami lands the Hex. Monk tries to rob me out. I hit him with the Charge Execute, and my healer finishes him off with the Lava Burst. Let's go. You can see we're starting to climb a little bit. This game was like 2070 MMR. Now we got Rogue, Resto Druid. Most rogues like to open with the sap and then go for some type of double CC out of that. So we counter it with the Intervene Bladestorm. Can't get stunned. If they try to throw any more CC into my healer instantly, we're going to eat that with the Intervene. And then we disarm him here just to basically flatten his ramp. I'm looking for a few rampages before I pop the burst macro to get my haste up. Don't trinket the disarm. It's a bait, people. It's a good time to just run over and fear the healer while we still have cooldowns rolling. I throw the Stormbolt preemptively. I like to hold that for the evasion, but he never evasions, so I can just trinket there and finish him off with the execute. Now we got Rogue. This is a sub-rogue this time, Holy Priest. Same opener, Intervene Bladestorm, Disarm out. This time the rogue trinkets, he's going all in on my healer. Same thing, Burst Macro, Fear. I do trinket this disarm because the rogue's already trinketed, and Stormbolt into the evasion so we can just pump him right through it. You can't dodge if you're stunned. He gets GA'd, he steps away, all the cooldowns. The cooldowns he's looking for is Vanish, but he doesn't find it and we win the game. Let's go. Now we got a Ret Paladin. I do quite like playing into Ret Paladins as a warrior. Seems like if you just counterplay their cooldowns, you have more sustained pressure. You've got a Mortal Strike or a healing reduction, so you're gonna definitely beat him in the 2v2s most of the time. Here, he bops, And then hoof stomps the shattering throw. Hoof stomping the shatter is huge for sure. But he's trinket bopped already, and I'm just pissed off. There's no way a Rep Pally is gonna trinket bop against me in the opener and win the game. The priest had to GA him because of those mistakes, and here we see Hope down, and he's dead. Let's go. Now, yeah, as I was saying, I do like playing against Rep Pallies in 2v2s. However, in the current meta, they can proc Wing Seraphim and a free Holy Power ability at the same time. And when all of those things happen and the stars align, anyone can get one shot. So, you know, even if you do completely outplay everything, you're still going to lose to Rep Pallies in this meta. Now here we got Ask Rogue Disc Priest. They're literally just throwing everything against the wall to kill my Resto Shaman. I don't know if they disrespect the Resto Shaman or if it's just a Disc Priest comp, so you have to win in the opener. But just going over the cooldowns, my Shaman still has Trinket Link Ascendance, and the Rogue has already used Vanish, Evasion, Disarm. So we like this for sure. Just stay in the smoke cloud. I want to kill this guy. You see he lands the insane step. At this point, I'm like, okay, these guys know what they're doing. They just, you know, juked my leap like it was nothing. Since he's running away, easy time to get the Fleshcraft, and then I even get the mount up on him because my Shaman keeps him in combat there. They don't land the chain CC on me here. This is really bad. It just allows me to shut down the Rogue Go, the Intervene Stormbolt. I still, you know, haven't had to disarm yet this game. And I definitely feel like I can kill the Rogue here. Now I Trinket. I'm pretty deep. I'm LOS, so I just Trinket Disarm there to not get too far behind. Charge the Rogue. Keep him in combat. Can my Shaman finish him off? Come on! Ah, doesn't look like it. But it's alright. You know, somehow we forced Dome there, just with rotation. That's what I was saying in the intro, guys. This comp is insane. Let's Spell Reflect another Mind Games. Here I wall Link. That was a good link. Wall was not going to save me. I don't think I had to disarm, though. I don't know if I only disarmed because he disarmed me and I wasn't able to heal within Rage Regen. And I think it was about this point in the game that I realized we're facing a Disc Priest and somehow he's still alive. You know, I haven't been training him. I think if I had realized it was a Disc Priest, I would have trained him right off the bat. But as you can see, either way, their Priest is This Rogue's been running for his life, and we just win the game. Let's go. This comp is nasty. So another Rogue, how surprising. You know, if you guys do a lot of 2v2s, you're going to realize you're facing the same comps over and over again. It's just the meta. It might be that it's early in the season, so we're only seeing meta comps, those being Rogue, Hunter, Warrior, and a few Warlocks for sure. But yeah, so if you know these matchups, it's definitely worth studying these matchups. In fact, because they are the matchups you see the most. So if you know what your enemy cooldowns are, if you know how to trade and who you should target, the majority of the time you are going to win, even if you're not the most insane player like myself. I'm not 2700 XP, but it's not what it takes. It's just about respecting cooldowns, counterplaying, and knowing your class. You know, we're warriors. We're just gonna run people into the ground until we win. So these guys are pretty good. They do almost kill my shaman there because they land the chain CC on me. I did try to Zerker Rage and intervene, but wasn't able to get the intervene off before the resonator went off. So my healer had to link to top himself. That's fine. It happens. We still have Ascendance Wall if that happens again. And now we're just eating into the rogue. Rogues cannot trade with warriors. Here we see they land another CC go on me. I could have actually stopped this one. I was spamming intervene, but in the 0.1 seconds I had in between their CC to get it off, it wasn't enough. So what I should have done there is actually blade stormed. I would have immuned the next CC and then easily being able to intervene. It's fine though. I see they're stacking up here and I have my fear, so we land the cheeky fear on them. Stormbolt the rogue. Neither of them have trinket, and really that's all we need to just finish them off from half HP with the rotation. Let's go. Big damn. So yeah, my healer is sapped in Narnia. So we Blade Storm the rogue step CC, whatever it was, and we're on the H-Pal. For some reason this game, I think I was just tired of facing so many rogue comps that I just felt like, let's train the H-Pal this time. I just Mongo her crushing blow charge, jump off the edge there. It's fine, guys. Just get back on him. Rogue's definitely doing a good job of CCing me, C blind into disarm. 13 seconds of CC back to back, but it's fine for me to just sit that. I don't have any cooldowns rolling. The rogue didn't have a go on my healer, so there's really no need to trinket. You can see both me and my healer still have our trinket. I do walk over on the smoke bomb, make sure I land that rally just to assist there. Again, we could counterplay these with big cooldowns, but why use big cooldowns when you don't have to, right? Now 1 hex on the healer, we Stormbolt the rogue's evasion, get his trinket, he cloaked, so we got everything from the rogue off of that hex. And we're in a really good state right now. H-Pal doesn't have trinket bubble. I disarm there. I do use Gladiator Losa, so I'm just listening to that for the best disarms into the rogue cooldowns, or, like I said earlier, if I'm in a bad position, if I'm LOSing my healer, I might just disarm nothing just to alleviate pressure. Now the rogue is looking like a very juicy kill target right now. I fear Stormbolt the healer. Now we swap back on him because that's sack. But yeah, we're in a very good position. We just cannot die in this next big go from the rogue. You can see I actually rampaged instead of pressing ignore pain. That's going to give me my war paint, and then I can blade storm for a big burst of rage and ignore pain. And here we land the cross CC, Stormbolt Hex, and they're just too far behind, so we win the game. Let's go. Next up, another Holy Paladin. This time he's running with a Demon Hunter, just really the scourge of 2v2 DPS. They're just going to go in there and PvE you down. They have evasion or blur. What seems like every 45 seconds. If they get a proc on their Necro Demon, they just full heal to 100% HP. But who cares, man? They're playing the wrong Mongo melee. Fury Warrior is the true Chad. And we're not going to let this Demon Hunter beat us. Just running him down, everything we got. My Shami purges the bop. That is sack, so I'm just cleaving some of my damage here. See whirlwinding those rampages to get Slaughterhouse on both our targets. And the Demon Hunter is looking pretty juicy right now. I guess he still has Darkness. He could still potentially be running Netherwalk. And there's all the cooldowns I was talking about. So let's go. Easy game. I even pre-rally this Fleshcraft just to get, maximum value out of their wasted cooldowns. The Demon Hunter sees what's happening and comes over to kick me. And so I just back off a little bit here. I feel like we're in a good place, so no reason to Mongo too hard and line my healer. And we're just back at it. Love the state of Fury Warrior right now. There's Big Damn. The self heals are insane. If you can optimize and rage regen, that's definitely something to practice. I see a lot of people in rage regen and just treat it like a wall. You got to remember that every bloodthirst heals you, including bloodbath from your reckless abandon talent. So make sure you're spamming those out when you do need to wall. I know ignore pain costs a lot of rage, costs 60 rage. It's pretty ridiculous. But if you have recklessness up, that's one crushing blow, so easy ignore pain. And you don't always have to be so greedy. It's definitely an ability you want to press, especially into a comp like a demon hunter that's just doing so much damage. Here they land the rep on my healer. It's not a big deal because they have to play so defensively. Pretty sad how this turns out. The healer sits a full hex and I have Stormbolt up, but because Meld basically shuts down my continuous damage and then he gets lucky and procs a demon, he just full heals and our go there is countered. But it's all good, people. We're still going to win this game. Still a long game. I actually leap away here to try to get the Fleshcraft LOS. The Demon Hunter chases me, so this is fine. I have stun for him. He's LOSing his healer. I like that trade. I have wall coming up. And we're just doing what we can. There's Blur again. I don't have Stormbolt for it. The thing about Demon Hunters is Blur is such a short cooldown that if you don't Stormbolt every Blur, you're probably not going to have it for every other Blur. At the same time, though, getting a Stormbolt on an I-Beam is huge value. Stormbolting his meta right here is great. So there's a lot of different ways you can play it. And we're going to run him down, boys. The H-Pals hit him with that heroic leap execute. We love to see it. Now we got another rogue for you guys. Don't get much value out of the Intervene Bladestorm here because the rogue just goes for the re-stealth. This is fine though, you might think it's a waste. At the same time, the rogue doesn't get any value out of the sap CC, so it's pretty big to shut that down. You guys know the plan here. Stormbolt the evasion. Just eat him up. Don't kill him though, so we swap on the priest until evasion's down. It looks like the healer stops healing for some reason. He gets kicked midair by my shaman, so we trinket and kill him with execute. That's our duelist game, boys. Just kill him in the opener. Easy game. Now we got a rogue mage comp. We see they're opening on me, so I just trinket fear to shut that down. And now I'm trying to kill the rogue. He has to trinket the stormbolt. This is a comp that I didn't like playing into for quite a long time. It's a very tough matchup for the rogue mage when they're playing against a Resto Shaman, as we'll see here. But I'll just try to break it down a little bit for you guys. I definitely shouldn't have ran into the Circle of Frost. This allows the rogue to run past me. I do hit him with the heroic throw, so we're just trying to make sure the rogue doesn't get a re-stealth. I see they're going me, the poly on my healer, so I pre-rally this go. Use my wall and shut it down. As we can see, I'm top heals right now. My shaman hasn't actually had to heal whatsoever. We're both just trying to run them into the ground. As long as they don't get resets, they're not just going to be able to trade blows. Now I see the CC on my healer again. So we BM trinket, ignore pain, this go, and the rogue just runs away. He knows I'm not dying through that. Put my spell reflect up here in case the mage tries to do something like Dragon Breath Poly. Now we fleshcraft the Poly. Intervene charge. Just get on him. It's a great thing about being in comms. You can kind of tell your healer when you want to use intervene for mobility. It's a great ability. And now again, I do actually pillar here on this double fear because the mage trinkets and they're trying to go me. I could have maybe done something different to keep the rogue in combat a little better, but it's fine either way. My healer keeps them in combat. Now they finally land a good go on me. So Trinket is back up. It's kind of a long game. So kudos to this rogue mage for surviving for so long. But game plan is don't let the rogue escape and you win. And even if he does escape, killing the mage isn't necessarily bad at all. So same thing here. I trinket the opener, stop the mind games from the holy priest. My healer CC'd, so I need to do something to save his trinket. And since their healer, I get that fear, great time to just set my burst macro. These are the openers I like. It allows my healer to play so defensively. Um, even if I didn't even have to wall either, so it's not like I actually was in trouble there. Um, and if we look at my healer's cooldowns, he literally has everything on his raid frames. So Fury Warrior is very strong in the opener. You've got so much damage. You have AoE fear, and if you enrage regen and recklessness at the same time, nothing is going to be able to kill you in the opener with no dampening. So yeah, just running down the hunter here. Love running double time Warbringer into hunters. It's big damn. And what can they do? Even the survival, one of the scariest melee classes in 2v2s, just gets absolutely wrecked if they don't play it right. So trinket the opener, fear the healer, and all we had to use for that rogue go was intervene, disarm, and my trinket to be fair. But we're on him. These guys were playing pretty good. I don't know if we played these guys before, but as you can see, I'm holding my disarm I'm holding my Stormbolt for the evasion, and they get so much value out of this. The priest Ray of Hope's early instead of GAing. The rogue just uses everything he's got in his spellbook and bags, including duel. Just because I'm not getting any value in my Stormbolt to shut that down. And then finally, I'm just a bit frustrated. I see the duel, I Stormbolt the healer. And Rogue still has evasion now. I'm not going to be able to kill him through it. So definitely a tough opener. This is going to happen, guys. But it's no reason to give up or start throwing the game even more. These are long games. They can be long games. It's definitely a fast meta. But back in it, yeah, I finally Stormbolt the rogue. The priest is so scared of what he's seen happen in previous Stormbolts, so he life scripts him. And we're just getting big cleave value right here. Both of these guys are so soft, rogue, priest, that we just cleave him down and kill the rogue with rotation. Let's go. Kind of funny seeing the rogue die like that. I did not expect it, to be honest. But that's just the state of the matchup. You can't stand there and face tank Fury Warrior damage if you have enough haste, especially with the Frenzy talent. You're going to be having 40% healing reduction, 8 stacks of Slaughterhouse at all times. That's really nasty. These guys are good. I think we can see what happens here when I have a bad trinket in the opener and they just get to have free reign on my healer. That forces my healer's trinket, wall, link, and ascendant. So the worst opener we've seen so far, but the priest is already dead. Don't play disc priest, guys. Jesus. Unless you're playing with a DK. So back to the more meta comps. I don't know what happened to the disc priest last game. This time we got Unholy DK, Holy Paladin, both very strong right now. I was a little scared this game. I mean, you can see here, DKs can kite warriors for sure. Just Chains of Ice is a better ability than Hamstring, and DKs can only be slowed up to 70% HP, plus they have movement speed buffs, yada yada. So the DK escapes my go. I also use Disarm, and now I don't really have anything for this Slappy Hands. Very scary. So we wall, spam and Bloodthirst as much as I can, ignore pain. They're just going through it all. Thankfully, my healer actually sat the blind and just tops me off with Link, no problem. So we survive the unholy cataclysm of sorts, and Now we're in a good state. Now we're just trading with this guy. I realize he's casting Death Strike too much for my liking, so we disarm him. Gets bopped off by the healer. But yeah, this is a question that came up in some of the comments. You know, is Unholy DK better than Fury Warrior? You've got Necrotic Wounds that absorbs healing on the target and heals you. You have Death Strike. DKs are countered by physical damage, so despite all the healing, you know, I would say at best it's on par with Fury Warrior healing. In terms of damage, though, maybe it's a little more. It might just be the fact that I'm running with the Resto Shaman, and in terms of healing throughputs, in terms of healing overall, just go check out the brackets. You know, they're pretty much on the bottom, somewhere around Mistweaver. Um, but yeah, so we're just trading blow for blows with the Unholy DK. I don't think they can handle the pressure of the Fury Warrior. Like I was saying, Unholy DKs in general really counter casters. They are countered by physical damage. So we just run them down, boys. Kill them with the second Conqueror's Banner. Don't need any other buffs than that. And they can't keep up with the press. Marksman Hunter now. Definitely one of the better hunters to go against as a warrior in 2v2s. We just want to counter those cooldowns, so we disarm him. And then we Stormbolt him. We force him to trinket the Stormbolt because he wants to do something, play the game. He knocks me into his priest, and oh my god, the priest was not ready for that. I don't know if it's a hunter throw with a knock or just a priest throw, but easy game, boys. Run him down. We'd love to see it. Now we got Fury Warrior, Resto Druid. I mean, Warrior, Resto Druid, iconic class of the ages, or iconic comp for sure. One of my Warrior idols recently came back to the game, and he was, you know, this is the comp he was playing, potentially best Warrior comp out there. I don't know though, lads. I don't know if it's the comp in this meta. You know, we can see, especially when you run into someone with a spammable purge, like Resto Shamman, or even, this would be way better with a priest. The R Druid healing is just non-existent. And then Warrior with the Disarm and the Stormbolt, we just play into the Warrior's self-healing. There's nothing he can do. He's wondering what's going on. If you had Gladiator Loso right now, it would be Purge, 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 and we run him into the ground. Easy game. Let's go. So as I was saying at the start of this video, Fury Warrior, Resto Shamman, this comp is feeling very juicy right now. You know, even in a lot of these replays, when people manage to counterplay the Warrior cooldown somehow, when you got a good healer who's applying pressure as well, it just seems like you win half the games in the opener. So last game of this sesh against a Destro Lock. Solid sesh, by the way. Very hyped to get my 21. Awesome to see us almost push 22 pretty casually. It's a goal of the season to hit 24 since we hit it last season, so we got to make sure we do that. But right now, you know, got a lot of ults. Having a lot of fun, so not too worried about pushing. We got plenty of time left. So yeah, just having fun, trying to get these videos out for you guys. We'll definitely keep getting some higher XP gameplay as the season goes on. And now back to this matchup, Destro Lock. It's all about just countering their cooldowns. When they Dark Souls, they're going to want to one-shot you, so definitely do not stay in LOS. You know, even if you think, oh, I got Spell Reflect, I got Wall, I'm going to be fine, come on. They're going to CC you, they're going to stun you, and in that stun duration, they can hit you with 2 Chaos Bolts. If they got their 4 set up, they can hit you with 3 Chaos Bolts, and they're just going to delete you. So line the cooldowns. Outside of the cooldowns, you still want to respect the Chaos Bolts in general. We have Spell Reflect, Kick, and Stormbolt. So we got 3 solid stops where you can't stop. You can see here I rally. You can trade a cooldown potentially. And then the locks also have this resonating CC trinket where you can't CC them twice back to back. You have to CC them 3 times. So that's very important. You don't necessarily just want to kick a fear or a incinerate, because that means they might get a free bolt off the back of that you can't stop. So yeah, things to keep in mind, things to practice. It's definitely a good matchup for us though, boys, because whenever we're on them, we're getting better trades. They can't outrun us, and just a little bit of pressure, they fall right over. So thanks for watching the video, guys, and I'll see you soon.